Well, good morning. Oh, I didn't watch the video all the way through, but I had some thoughts just from what I saw and heard. So apparently, Marjorie Taylor Greene is trying to talk to a bunch of people about abortion and how you shouldn't have one. And her thought process is obviously flawed. It's flawed, just period. Anyways, so she's sitting there saying that you women out there having this abortion, it's not going to solve your problems or anything like that. It's not going to make your boyfriend love you anymore. Okay, where does that even play into it? It's not up to the boyfriend. It's not up to the man in her life. It's her body. It's her choice. If they're in a serious relationship, should they have a discussion about it? Sure, but ultimately, it's the guy. It's the woman's choice. It's her body. She's the one. Sure, it may be that guy's baby, potential baby. Okay. But the woman's body goes through all the changes, okay? And those changes cause permanent things to happen. I mean, okay, one little tiny thing right off the top of my head, incontinence. Hey guys, let me ask you a question. Would you want to be forced to do something that's going to take most of a year and cause you to be in pain, especially at the end when it comes to giving birth? Even if it is a C-section, there's pain. They're cutting you open. But, okay, but despite all that, guys, do you want to be forced to do something that's going to make you possibly incontinent? Huh? You know, you can't hold your pee anymore and you just kind of piddle all over yourself randomly. You know, women, that's a real thing that women deal with, especially women who have had children. I mean, think about it. The uterus swells. The uterus is right up against the bladder, and so it's putting pressure on the bladder and all kinds of stuff. And even after birth, after everything's pretty much healed, you can still become incontinent. You cough. You gotta cross your legs because you're gonna pee yourself. Now, different levels of incontinence exist. Sometimes it's just a little bit. And, you know, if you have a vagina, it might just stay in the labia for the most part. And then you have that little cotton pad on your panties that catch the moisture. And it's basically just a moist area. But then again, that urine can cause irritation in that area. I'm pretty sure. I don't have a labia, but I'm pretty sure that most women do not like a red, irritated, itchy labia. So, you know, trying to stay clean down there. It's already a very warm, moist area. Lots of bacteria can have its way down there. Urine is just another thing to add to problems in that area. If you're a guy, you're not going to know about that. Now, if you had empathy and you learned about the opposite sex, especially since you want to put your body parts in that other person's body parts, yeah, you might want to know a little bit about it. No, I'm not no expert, but I can obviously take the anatomy and my experiences being married to women and extrapolate from that the things that can happen. Things I've noticed, whatever. The point is, excuse me. The point is that pregnancy causes changes, hormonal changes, bodily changes, stretch marks. It can cause stretchy skin, baggy skin, whatever you want to call it, around the midsection. Your boobs grow. Maybe she don't want bigger boobs. Maybe she's got nice perky ones and she wants to keep those. But she gets pregnant and hormones kick in and her breasts start growing. And then all of a sudden they're no longer perky and they're baggy now. I mean, everybody's different. Everybody has different changes and stuff. Maybe the woman doesn't want to go through that. You ever think about that? Guys, ask yourself this question. Would you want the law or a bunch of women to make you go through something, because you want to have sex with them, or they want to have sex with you or whatever, and from that you have the possibility of going through some kind of condition that causes you to grow breasts? Guys, do you want that? Most of you probably say fuck no. Why would you want a woman to go through that? Well, they already have boobs. Well, sure, but maybe they like their boobs the way they are. It's their body. They should have a choice. Abortion will solve some problems. Not everything. That is one thing that Marjorie Taylor Greene is right about. It will not solve everything. But it will stop changes to your body. Some changes will happen because you technically are pregnant. There are hormones ramping up, but a lot of that stuff doesn't really happen until later on. But there are hormonal changes once pregnancy has actually started. But you can stop a lot of the changes that those hormones cause, or at least reduce the effect of them. Oh man, there's a lot of debris on the road. Anyways, so all those changes that come with being pregnant, all right, some of them are pregnant. They can cause problems. They things that will hurt a woman's self-esteem even because of what it does to the body. Okay? Now, if a woman wants to give birth to a child, then she understands that she had got to go through those changes, and she may not have the same body she did before she got pregnant. That's just how it goes. But furthermore, this has nothing to do with the boyfriend. It's everything to do with the body. Now, Marjorie Taylor Greene was saying, getting an abortion is not going to help you get that degree. It's not going to help you get that job. It's not going to help you get through school. Marjorie, I think you are deluded and you don't know what you're saying. Okay? Because let's say you're going to college, right? And you got your life pretty much planned out, and something happens and you end up pregnant, and you know that it is not a good idea for you to have a baby right now. It'll totally uproot your life and destroy all your plans to become a successful person in the future in this cutthroat economy due to runaway capitalism. And so your best chances are to not have a child right now, not be pregnant right now, and get through the next few years of school and get yourself a job and work your way up. Once you're stabilized, then you may decide to have a child. And that's what you thought up, right? Well, you go out and you have a little fun to get away from, you know, the rigors of school, because it can be extremely stressful. And so you go out and you have a good time, and well, you end up pregnant. Now, the Republicans out there, the conservatives and the religious fucks, wants you to carry that child to term and give birth to it, and still be able to go through college and a job and all that stuff, and you're by yourself and there's no social safety net and there's no help whatsoever. Sorry, no, it don't work like that. You should have the right to have that abortion and get yourself in a position. See, here's the thing. Next time, you know, okay, well, maybe I need to be even more careful with, you know, make sure that I'm more diligent with birth control and stuff like that, or just very, very more careful with hooking up with people for carnal needs. But yeah, I would say that yes, an abortion would help you get through college a lot easier. An abortion will help you to get that job that you always wanted. An abortion will help you get through high school. An abortion will help you do a lot of things, okay, that you would miss out on or not be able to complete completely, or especially if you don't have support. The family unit has been broken down, and that's because of runaway capitalism. That's because of the conservatives. But they think that everybody has this nuclear family from the 1950s and the Donna Reed show and everything. And I'm sorry, but things like that don't exist anymore. That shit started deteriorating in the 90s. I mean, I remember growing up, we used to go like every year over to Lake Isabel with my great aunt and uncle, and it was fun. We would have a picnic and had a bunch of family members there, and putt golf and horseshoes, and go fishing and swimming and all kinds of stuff. And then less and less people were showing up. Interfamily squabbles caused ostracization of either by other or by self. Just the family unit broke down on both sides, and we didn't do anything anymore. And now nobody has the money to do anything anymore. So going out to the park and stuff like that, Lake Isabel, I believe you got to have a membership to actually use the place. Who else got the money for that? Fuck, I need a tire, an oil change, a fuel filter change, a headlight, wiper blades. I ain't got the money for that shit. And I make quite a bit. Not as much as I will, but I do pretty good. And we're struggling. Now, imagine being by yourself, a woman who oftentimes is looked over for a lot of jobs. And you're pregnant or you have a newborn child, and how are you going to take care of it? You ain't got nobody. Child care costs so much today. It is not worth paying for it. It's the same. My wife went and got a job just for child care costs. Would end up taking all the money she would make from that job, and at the very least, I might have to pay for some of that on top of it. And at that point, why would she be going to work? It would cost less or the same just for her to stay home and take care of the kids in the house. And they wonder why a lot of people like my son's age, who's in his early mid-20s, are saying, nah, fuck, I ain't having any children. Fuck that shit. I ain't bringing any children in this world. And they're like, no, you have to have children. How are we going to replace all the white people? or something like that, you know. And they don't want to bring children into this world. We're going to have a major population drop just from this generation because why? Why would they want to have children? They think about this stuff now because they realize that it's not so easy now to go get a job, and even if you do get a job, it's not enough to pay your fucking bills. In some cases, it's not even enough to pay your fucking rent. Why would they want to have a child? Why would they want to make their life harder? And the only people they got to blame, because they blame everything on the Democrats, but no, the conservatives have the conservatives to blame. The Republicans have the Republicans to blame. Sure, some of the Democrats are to blame for it. Joe Manchin would be one of them, Kristen Sinema, and anybody who votes against help for the people and stuff like that. This ain't rocket science. So, no, Marjorie Taylor Greene, you're wrong. Them getting an abortion when they don't want to be pregnant and don't want to have a baby, and they want to get through school and they want to get through job and they want to be successful in life, will help them to achieve those goals. Having an abortion will help them achieve those goals. I don't know what you think you're fucking saying. Having a child makes those goals 50% at the very least, 50% more difficult, or 50% less likely to happen, especially if they don't have any kind of social safety net or any kind of help at home. You know, I get envious of some of these people, you know, because they get help from their family. My mom's dead. I don't trust my dad. My sister's practically non-existent and unable to help. My niece has helped in the past, but she's unable to now because she works full time. We don't get help. And the help that we have been getting is becoming unreliable, which is a shame, but we're finding that we're having more problems with that help than we are if we just didn't get the help. Our children are somewhat special needs. They're very difficult to discipline. Spanking does not work on them. It makes things worse. And so trying to discipline two autistic children and a terrible twos child. So you got 3 of them that are they're a handful, a couple handfuls. But there's certain ways you have to deal with them. My wife is the best one to deal with them. I try to stay out of it because I generally make things worse because I'm a little more aggressive. Aggressiveness does not work with them very well. They just don't get it. And they won't. Not for a while. They don't think and feel the same way everybody else does. Their emotions are very strong and at the surface. So they don't think things through. They're very smart and they can, but the emotional part has not been learned to be managed yet, which is difficult to do even for a regular person, let alone someone who has autism. Anyways, it is easier to have an abortion than to carry a pregnancy you don't want. Marjorie Taylor Greene. And it should be the right and the choice of the woman to be able to make that decision. That's not an easy decision to make. Your views are unpopular by any sense of polling. Marjorie Taylor Greene needs to shut the fuck up. Anyways, that's all I got. It's astonishing the shit that these people come up with and they spew out their mouths, trying to get people to vote for them or keep them in office or to convince them that they're the party for them, when everything they do goes against the people. We know that the people want their rights taken away from them. That's what we know. Yeah, good luck, Republicans. No, Christians want to take away the rights of other people, especially women. They love to subjugate women. Women are nothing but chattel to the religious person. Not every religious person, but the evangelicals, the extremists, the fundamentalists, those people think that women should be completely subservient to the man. We live in a weird, different world. So, it's time that we started taking back our country and getting to the point where we promote things like freedom. So, anywho, I am going to get off of here because it's starting to storm, and I want to get in before the rain's too bad. So I shall see you in the next one.